the big AJ Styles story of the month is that Larry Zbyszko shows up making his TNA debut, the living legend.
And has some bangers.
Surprisingly so. As we mentioned, like, Larry is 50, I think either 51 or 52 at the stage, depending on when his birthday is. He's like early 50s, and he's out there having, fair enough, he's in there with AJ, who's the best wrestler in the company. Actually, no, technically that's Jerry Lynn based on who I gave the award to. But
excuse me, thank you. You've just admitted that I was right, but thank you. Continue.
he's in there with AJ, and he's just having good wrestling matches. And I think that's the reason, like, they stand out in these shows, where you get so many, like, David Flair style, like, WCW power plant, walk and brawl, kick punch matches. And you get AJ and Larry, who just go out there and, like, just do a bit of wrestling.
And in the watch-along, we questioned whether or not he was going to try and slow AJ down to work a match, brother, or if he was going to, try and go to AJ's level. And my man went in there and he went to AJ's level as best he could, and that's remarkable in its own way. Like, taking big bumps, big spills to the outside, cutting, like I said before, really dynamic promos that dragged along at times. But, some interesting promos from him too. And yeah, this whole Styles thing I thought was really good. And we got, like, peak AJ Styles cocky prick here too.
Yeah, and Larry invented the TNA kick.
Oh, it's astonishing, right?
If you're wondering where did the TNA kick come from, it's Larry Zbyszko of all people.
Yeah, I think that's the first time we've seen the TNA kick.
Most people would think it's like Chris Sabin or Alex Shelley.
Yeah, Sabin would have been my guess for sure.
But no, it's Larry Zbyszko invented the TNA kick. If you don't know what the TNA kick, it's like the spinning back mule kick that you can picture like Sabin doing in your head a million times.
Yeah, if you ever watched an X Division match from like 2004 onwards, you saw several of them.
So yeah, you get these two AJ and Zbyszko matches, the premise of which is that AJ was being managed by Mortimer Plumtree. AJ is now saying he's a man by himself, but Larry Zbyszko wants to manage and guide AJ, because in the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life, he says he sees a young himself in AJ, and I'm like, they could not be two more polar opposite pro wrestlers, AJ Styles and Larry Zbyszko.
It's in that they are both white men.
Yes, that's how he sees himself in AJ Styles.
And he was once the same age as AJ.
That is statistically true.
And they both wrestle.
They were both in TNA.
There you go. Yeah, just an interesting storyline. I don't mind. Mortimer Plumtree obviously pissed off about his $100,000 investment, just saying no. Did you not sign a contract at any point?
AJ does not obey contract law.
No, actually, Mortimer said that it was a signing bonus. So there is a contract in play. He should sue AJ.
He should take him to court. He should bring in Joseph Park.
There you go.
So yeah, they have two matches. The first of which is more like Larry trying to match AJ's pace, and the second of which is just most of that second match. It's a 10-minute match where the stipulation is that if AJ cannot beat Larry twice in 10 minutes, he will have to allow Larry to be his manager. So AJ beats him once but can't beat him twice. But like most of that match is Larry just stretching AJ.
Yeah. That second one was real gnarly.
Like, just gets him out on the mat, starts doing holds, starts like stretching him in all these directions, starts yanking his leg. It's like just an old school, like, grizzled, angry vet stretching a young guy. It's actually quite enjoyable.
Yeah, and which is funny because like the first match is really AJ just outclassing him and outspeeding him the whole time. So it was nice that like Larry like kind of learnt from that first match and was able to shut down AJ a lot more effectively in the second match.
And even then, still, the premise of the second match is like Larry just has to survive AJ. You know, he's not in AJ's league. He is beaten once by AJ in this 10-minute period. Like, he just has to survive AJ.
Yeah, it's a good little dynamic. Honestly, might be the best stuff from these shows for me.
Yeah, it's just good, simple wrestling that's not just guys doing work shoots constantly.